I wanted to make a video talking about ghost guns and specifically the Polymer 80 pistol craze that took off a few years ago. Now we all know, we all made videos and that Polymer 80 was a company that would sell you the frame, the unfinished frame of the gun. This is also the licensed part of the gun. The slide, the barrel, all that you can buy without any background check license or any of the components, triggers, all that other stuff. In general, you could buy and just get them sent to your house. It is the frame, okay? So this company come out with a kit, and 80%, there are 80% ARs, and there were a couple other handguns that had 80% kits that are made out of metal. And there's a little bit more involved to finishing these other 80% kits, okay, or frames, be it AR-15 or like SIG, and I think 1911 there were kits like that also. But the Polymer 80, all you needed was electric drill or drill press, a razor knife, a utility knife, pliers, or to snip with, a file or sandpaper, and that is all the tooling you needed to complete that frame. And people made a ton of videos. There was a guy, Marine gun builder. I mean, he had a huge channel all dedicated to assembling these Glock style Polymer 18s, okay? And that was a huge thing, it got in the news. It was a national crisis. The ATF was changing rules and that and everything, and the ATF raided a place and confiscated kits, buy, build, shoot kits or something, where you would get the frame, unfinished frame, and all the parts you need to assemble a handgun. So this is a big thing. It was in the news, it was on TV and built into movies that this was a crisis. So whatever happened to them, okay? First of all, if you made videos talking about assembling or doing any type of work with these guns, you would, they were being pulled down, or they would shut your whole channel down. I had to delete over 100 videos according to YouTube's new policy that had anything to do with fitting, modifying, or adjusting a firearm. Okay. Those videos were popular. I got thousands of views on them. But in the end, what happened was the Polymer 80 company itself is out of business. It's no longer in business. It filed for bankruptcy a few years ago. It had multiple lawsuits and was pressured out of business. Since then, the ATF has changed. So, did it go away? Okay, the ATF has changed classifications or the rulings on getting one of these frames, okay? Like these here, it wasn't that difficult. There was one part that had to be, and I can't go into detail, but you did have to cut and shape and work on one section, okay, that was difficult, more difficult than the other. The other is pretty simple stuff. And then the jig, you drilled the holes and lined them up. What they did, the ATF changed the ruling, and they have what they call now, what is it? What is this here? A 76% receiver, or frame, 76% frame with bridge or something. And what they did is they put a few other, I don't know what you'd call them, blocks or bits into the frame in critical areas. One, is in the back where the mechanism goes, and what they did is they filled it in with ribs. So now you can get one of these frames, and the weird thing is they don't sell the jigs together with the frame. You can buy the frame, but you have to buy the plastic jig from another company or so. So they're still out there, okay? But the level of difficulty, and you don't see it on YouTube because it's not allowed, but go into other forums, you can see where these people have to do this extra work, which is extremely difficult. Even if you had tools, the thing about polymer, it's casting. It's supposed to be cast, it has a finish, it has structural integrity. The minute you start carving, grinding, and doing stuff, you damage the integrity of the piece. It's much more difficult to do. I don't believe you'll get a good product, and actually they were somewhat problematic, even when you did it the simple way. These guns did not function 100%, unless you tinkered with them and adjusted them and had a fool with them. Some of them you had to shoot 500-600 rounds through it before you got it to work right. They were not exactly what they were cracked up to be. But people wanted them, liked them, did it. They were very popular. Can you still get something like it? Yes. It's not as easy as it was. To do it is a bit more time consuming and difficult. And from what I've seen, you're not getting anything of a quality product. Now, if you can legally own a gun, you could go and buy something like this PSA Dagger. This gun is highly, it's not expensive, and they make the frames that, you buy like a regular handgun in 3 or 4 different sizes, different colors. They have all the parts, pieces, slides. It takes Glock Gen 3 parts, and it's relatively not that expensive compared to other comparable pistols. Okay, and you can build whatever you want. If you can legally own a gun, you can have one of these and customize it and everything else. To go through the trouble of carving up one of these 80%, where it will cost you more than buying a used Glock handgun legally, in a gun shop. But people still are fascinated with making it on their own and everything else. And it is not against the law for you to build your own firearm if you can legally own one. Federally, it's not. Okay, this is one key. So you can still do it. The only thing is you can't sell it, you can't give it away. Okay, it's illegal to sell, number one. Number two, you can't give it away. It's illegal to build a weapon and say, hey, I'm going to give you this. Can't do that. You can't leave it in your state, in your will. It's not legal. You can build it, you can own it, and it's yours. But you got to keep it. See, the law is written very strangely. So you can't sell it, give it away, or anything like that. And if you do, you're breaking the law. Now, curiously enough, when I went on here, for those of you that are still panicking about the ghost gun thing, you can get these frames. It's kind of, you got to root around, get the frame from one place, get the jig from another. There is one brand that still sells, it's not Polymer 80, it's something else. There are some of these things still available. You have to look. They're quite expensive, and there is the state and local law, and I'll give you an example of which states that these things are banned in. Alright, so according to the new rules and regulations, you got to have a 76%. I don't know if 80% are still sold by people or not. I haven't kept up with it. But when you go to the one site that'll sell you the 76%, it says that under no circumstances will we ship to California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan City, Detroit, Nebraska City, Oklahoma, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania City, Philadelphia, Rhode Island, Washington, and Vermont. So, obviously there are state and local laws that do not allow these things to be sold or put together. Okay, so it's kind of curious. So to say, are they out there? Kind of yes, and kind of no. Okay, you know, if there is somebody selling any of these parts, pieces, and things, as you can see from this long list, they're not going to send it to you. You know, so have ghost guns gone away? You might not see as many of them as you did in the past, but that's what I found out about this topic. I was always curious about that myself. Alright, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.